All right, how you doing? Let me know how everything is. Welcome to the live stream. Audio, video check, please. As we get into this live stream, smash up the likes for this emergency Bitcoin announcement, analysis, update, whatever you want to call it. No surprises here. I told you guys about a position that I was in inside of VIP. I went long on Bitcoin here, right next to the bottom, and I decided to close it up here. A little bit lower than this circle because I was expecting a dip like this. So amazing stuff. Again, if you're still not in VIP, I don't know what you're doing. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your opportunities. On the screen right here. Got the furry jacket today because I didn't want to like show myself wearing like my gym outfit, which I'm still in. Actually, it's not even that. I just haven't washed my clothes yet. So just figured, fuck it, put a jacket on, fix the problem. So here we go. Thank you all for the checks. Let me bring my notes up. We've got quite a lot to go through in this live stream and we don't have enough time. So smash up the likes if you're ready to enjoy this live stream with me. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments starting now and make sure to tag me by writing the @ symbol like an email address and then Sammy Loyal. It will auto-fill to my name and then write your question. If you don't do that, I will not see your question. All right. Here we go. So, Bitcoin has support at the $40,000 range. We ended up dipping just below it for a flash crash, exactly as we were predicting on this YouTube channel for a long time. We fell all the way down to about 39.6 and then managed to retrace up very quickly. Take a look at this on the 5-minute time frame. It tells us a lot about what happens. First of all, on the 1-hour time frame, this bounce comes with quite a lot of volume, which is great. Oh, I should tell people I'm live on Telegram, my bad. There we go. This bounce comes with quite a lot of volume, which looks good. However, this isn't all perfect because if we zoom in onto the 5-minute time frame, we can see where that volume really comes in. It comes in on the red bar. The biggest volume spike in this whole move right here came on a sell-off. And not only did it come on a sell-off, if we zoom in even further to the 1-minute time frame, it's even more evident that it came on the first candle that Bitcoin pushed below $40,000 convincingly. So someone would rather see me in a latex coat. Thank you. Very flattering. And then Bitcoin managed to rise up again. We did get another spike of green volume right here on this candle as Bitcoin pushed above 40,400. However, it's still not that good in my opinion. And that's just the first thing I want to bring to your attention. This volume bar is misleading. The majority of the volume came on the sell-off, not on the subsequent buy rally for Bitcoin. And I think that's important to keep in mind. Now, someone's asking, why did we get a bounce? I think we got this bounce because Bitcoin was originally pushed down to this level, but a lot of people, I think rightfully, see this area as being a great buy area for Bitcoin, even this area being a great buy area for Bitcoin. It doesn't matter the fact that you guys know I'm very bearish on this market. I said it in the very last video. Again, if you're not already subscribed, you would have missed it. So smash that like button, smash that subscribe button as you're coming in here to show your support for these videos. I love you all. Thank you very much with this amazing live stream. What I was saying is that even if Bitcoin does end up dipping lower, this is still an absolutely phenomenal buy area in my opinion, because you don't know for a fact if Bitcoin will drop lower, but we do know for a fact that this area right now that we're trading at is 40% below our all-time high, and buying 40% below Bitcoin's all-time high has consistently throughout history been a good idea. So that is why I'm quite optimistic about this at the moment. And so I think that we just saw this big pump up because people recognize that and they want to buy Bitcoin below 40K. However, it doesn't mean that we don't drop back below there right now. There are still some very bearish things that I'm seeing on this chart, not least just the fact that we're pushing the downside too much, right? Look at all the big spikes that we had to the downside. We had this one right here, which initially wasn't so big, and then number 2, and then number 3, and now number 4. And in terms of big pushes to the upside, we only had these 2 where we broke resistance. So we are still leaning to the downside. We're still getting more volume when we push the downside. Look at all of these volume spikes. They're consistently only coming with this one exception on the bearish moves. We already established that this volume spike is in fact bearish, not bullish, because it is a misleading candle. And so there's still a lot of bearish things, and I'll get into that a little bit later on in this video. But the first thing that I really want to cover is that if this is indeed the bottom for the market, then where are we going? So Take a look at this. If Bitcoin manages to rise higher, it's going to find resistance at the $42,000 range, in my opinion. This is an area that has previously been quite good support for Bitcoin just over these past couple of days. We literally fluctuated within quite a small range. Let's just measure this. This is quite a small range of about 1.6% for a time frame of about 3.5 days that we were trading here. And so this should act as resistance. However, we're coming with quite a lot of strength off this move. And so I don't think that this resistance is going to be too problematic for Bitcoin. And that means really the only key resistance Bitcoin is going to have is that 42k level kind of outlined by this line. It's a little bit higher. I could move this level a little bit lower down to perhaps 42.2, which is, yeah, I guess where we could say the main area of resistance is. And the main thing that I'm looking for right here is seeing if Bitcoin can rise above this resistance area. If Bitcoin can rise above this resistance area, then I think it's going to be able to rise all the way up to the 46k level right here. There is 44 in between, but I don't think this is going to be very problematic for Bitcoin, so I'll actually just remove this line right now. And so what I think we're going to be seeing here is Bitcoin pumping right above this level all the way to the very next area of resistance on this chart, which is going to be at the $46,000 area. This is, as we know, quite an important area on the chart. It has been where Bitcoin was able to find support for a very, very long time. Take a look at this. If I measure this, Bitcoin was finding support here for a time frame of about 31 days, and we bounced off this level, relatively speaking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 times that we bounced off this level. And so it was very strong support, and I would expect it in turn to be very strong resistance. Not only that, but it lines up with existing indicators that you guys know I love to pay attention to. The Ichimoku cloud still offering us resistance at this very, very same area. This is called a confluence. When we have multiple different things pointing to the same overall conclusion, that's called confluence. Confluence is very, very important. It has a big impact in the market. Not only do we have confluence with this 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, and if you don't know what the Ichimoku cloud is, then go ahead and type this into the YouTube search bar right now. Pause the live stream and type this into the YouTube search bar. You're missing out on quality content. This is funny. This is not quality content. I made this video when I was like 15, but watch it anyway. It's really, really good, and it explains the Ichimoku cloud indicator. Not only do we have confluence with that, but if we look at the daily EMA ribbon, for example, look at where the resistance begins. The resistance begins at $46,000. So yet again, we have resistance at this very same range. This is all to say that I think that if Bitcoin can rise above 42, we're going to probably rocket ship higher, but only for roughly a 10% range. A little bit less from these two lines, between these two lines. This is about a 9% range, but I think the range is, yeah, I mean, I can draw another line kind of like up to 46.3, right? I mean, this would still be very much valid in my opinion. And so just kind of, a breakout above this level, putting it directly kind of in between these two lines is roughly a 9.2% rise, which is absolutely great. This alone might be worth trading. I haven't decided on what I want to do yet. I've been very careful with my positions, and that's why I'm very glad that I got out of that long position in a nice profit. It wasn't big, but it was nice considering where the market went. And of course, those details were shared inside of VIP. So guys, I keep on saying this, if you want to jump inside the group and watch me trading in real time, gain access to every single bit of information about every single trade that I make in real time, then click on the first link in the description down below, and then the @4flies button at the bottom of any post inside of 4flies Gold. This is my free Telegram channel where I give you even more analysis around the clock, free of charge, and then click on send message to ask me how to join 4flies VIP. Guys, just as I'm going on, please let me know if there's any lag and different things like that. I hope that there's no lag with the camera. I did just notice one small instance right there. And again, as you do have questions, be sure to drop them in the comments, and of course write my name, otherwise I will not see your questions. So guys, thanks for shooting up those likes. Please go ahead and show some support for this live stream if you are enjoying it. I don't have too much time for this live stream today, but I will still get through absolutely everything I need to talk about. So yeah, nice gap right here, resistance to be expected up there with confluence from the daily EMA ribbon, with confluence from the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. I'm sure that there's some other bearish indicators right here. There's also bearish momentum on the 4-hour chart. Look at this on the 4-hour time frame. We haven't even hit the momentum yet, and the last time that we hit this momentum, Bitcoin saw quite a big rejection from the high down to the low, which we just set. Bitcoin fell by about 7.3%, which is absolutely catastrophic. The last time before that we found resistance in this cloud, from the high to the immediate low, Bitcoin fell down by about 9.7%. So this is absolutely huge. It's a big indicator that hints at what Bitcoin could do, and we're about to encounter that resistance again. And this does actually fight my current analysis, because I was saying that this can be a range that Bitcoin explodes through. The reason that I am saying I think Bitcoin can potentially overcome this range if we break above 42 is because the current bounce is so strong. If it wasn't so strong, I wouldn't be this positive, but it is strong, and because of that, I think Bitcoin might be able to rally that strength to go to those next levels. But of course, that doesn't really prove anything, because Bitcoin would still be mostly setting lower highs and lower lows in this trend if we went all the way up here and then got a rejection and fell back down. And this, to me, if we did that, would be extremely bearish. So I would definitely be hoping as we approach that level, if we do approach this level, that Bitcoin is going to break it. If we don't break it, I would be very, very concerned, because that means we're probably going to have to sweep this low. And if we manage to rise all the way up here and then we sweep this low at $40,000 instead of just a quick dip down like we had here, if we actually sweep the low, we could be going a lot lower than that, and that's where I have to start talking about levels like $30,000. So we're not there yet, and I don't want to talk about that yet, but it is still a bad sign, and I just wanted to put that on your radar. Also, 1 hour Ichimoku cloud still very, very bearish for Bitcoin right here. We had yet another confirmed rejection, exactly as expected on this YouTube channel. Guys, do me a favor, if you've watched that video, drop me a comment telling me that you did, and shoot up those likes, because that was bang on 100% correct when I was talking to you guys about Bitcoin finding resistance in this thick Ichimoku cloud. It is still a very, very big cloud, and I am very, very happy with how that ended up working out. And this cloud is only getting lower. This is only going to be applying more pressure on Bitcoin. So the only real good thing that Bitcoin has right now, in my opinion, is the fact that it had a strong bounce right here with good volume. Like I said, most of the volume came on the sell-off, but there was still good volume on the buy. We've had a strong bounce right here. This is a good chance, if there ever was one, for Bitcoin to rally up. However, the next important thing to keep in mind is that there is a time window for this. If Bitcoin does not break out quickly, I don't know how to put a time limit on this, but I'd say within the next, say, 24 hours, if Bitcoin isn't able to break out within, and less than that, I mean even like the next 8 hours, I would imagine that it's going to lose this momentum pretty quickly. The thing that we need to keep in mind is that this is a very bearish market. This is a market that's in a lot of pain, where people are very easily upset, which means people can very easily and quickly sell off in this market. And because of that, when we get a bullish move like this, we've got a very short opportunity, a very short window of time in order to use it. And if we don't use that within that window of time, we're in trouble. And I think that is where this market is at the moment. So I'm seeing a short time frame for Bitcoin to do something bullish, and that is it. Hopefully Bitcoin uses it, but of course we don't know how that's going to go for sure. So that is that's kind of what I'm seeing right there. I would love to tell you that there's more bullish stuff with this at the moment, but unfortunately I just can't be too optimistic. So let's talk about, just before I go to my notes here and cover some more of the core analysis, let's talk about some of the bearish things that could be going on with this chart at the moment. So 40k did get penetrated. We fell below it briefly. That's more of a wick, and so I'm definitely not concerned with it, and it is a good sign. There is a little bit of support down at about $38,000 as well, and this is pretty much, to me, the final area of support that Bitcoin has. You could say that 35.6 around over here is also support, but at that point you may as well just place lines every fucking $2,000, to be fair. So it's just not very good analysis, in my opinion, if I did that. However, I'm just saying that, look, if we get another flash dip, and the possibility of that, I think, is not as high as it was before, now that we've already had one, but if we do get another one, we can drop all the way down to even 38 and still be relatively bullish, in my opinion. The only thing that I really just want to remind you guys about is, again, like, this market is moving very much in a straight line down, just as it was moving a straight line up, and we already know it's the same thing I always say, guys. You guys know you're not getting any bullshit on this YouTube channel. I'm going to tell it to you exactly like it is, and I was saying to you guys on this rally that the market doesn't rally up with a straight line. If it does, we're going to be in trouble eventually, and it's the same thing about rallying down. Like, we don't just rally down in a straight line. We need corrections. We haven't had one, and that, to me, is the single biggest reason that we need to rise up again. If we take a look at the fear and greed index, let's refresh this. We were at a reading of 23, which was the same as the reading yesterday, and the reading before that was 10, and so I think we're going to be right back down to quite extreme levels of fear again. We're already in extreme fear levels, but we were significantly lower just 2 days ago, and I think that we might be returning to levels like that again right now, and that is absolutely great. And I also just want to take a quick glance at what the funding rates are saying. What is this showing us in terms of where the market is, in terms of sentiment, and where people are putting their money? And we can see that we have kind of spiked lower on the daily time frame right here, indicating that more short positions have been open, less long positions have been open at this very moment, which is a good sign. We want people to be bearish at the bottom. I just want to remind you guys about how this typically works. If I just highlight this area right here and highlight the bottom of the market right here at the very same time, we typically see people trading in the most bearish directions when the market is at the bottom. If you don't already know what this means, just to break this down for you, the funding rate is a display of the fees that people have to pay in order to keep positions open, and generally this is a representation of how bearish people are. If the funding rate is negative, it means a lot of people are going short, which means a lot of people are selling, and if the funding rate is positive, it means a lot of people are going long, which means that a lot of people are buying. So the last time that we had quite low funding rate levels similar to where we are right now, other than this right here, was also when Bitcoin fell down to about $30,000 and then managed to rally up. I just want to put this on your radar right here. Now, granted, we've been at these kind of negative funding rates for quite some time now. Bitcoin established these rates of negative funding all the way since the low $50,000 range, and we're now a whole $10,000 lower than that, which is about 25% of a drop, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, about 20%, a 20% drop right now. So, you know, like, it would have been foolish if you based all of your analysis off this alone, and that's why I didn't, but I was always putting it on your radar, and we are dropping down right now. Take a look at this, right? When the funding rate drops to absolute shit, that's when we get the biggest rallies. So I just want to put this on your radar. On the 1 hour time frame, let's take a look at how this is looking. Still not super bearish in my opinion. I was actually talking about this in the most recent VIP video that I made, so I don't want to go too much more in depth on this. If you want to gain access to that video and every single other VIP exclusive video that I make, then again, these are the steps on screen. And guys, I just want to take this moment to let you guys know that, you know, this YouTube channel, while it is absolutely groundbreaking and amazing with some of the best analysis you can ever find, and I'm not big-headed at all, then, you know, you're going to love what's on the other side of VIP, because I'm only talking about the analysis stuff. I'm not talking about the trading stuff. VIP is where I exclusively focus on the trading stuff. So if you want to gain access and insights into how I navigate that, then again, bam, with these steps on screen. And of course, by the way, if you like free cash, Bybit is the place to be. 𝗎𝗙, by the way, you guys know that this was one of the really big investments, really big moves that I made recently, you know, has blown up. I told you guys that I was expecting it to pump up and it was trading at under $1. Now it's at $1.80 and it peaked at like $2.40. This coin is entering the Bybit, it's not entering, it's going to be tradable on the Bybit exchange, I think tomorrow. So we've got Casta there, we've got 𝗎𝗙, a bunch of coins that I love, and it is the only exchange that I use. I've been partnered with them for years and I love it. So check it out using the link in the description down below. Just pause the video here, go ahead and sign up, because when you do that, you're going to get up to $4,100. It's waiting for you, just deposited straight into your account as a bonus for depositing your first ever Bitcoin into your brand new Bybit account using my link down below. Go ahead and check it out if you like free money. It's waiting for you. You don't have to do anything other than make a deposit for it. So it absolutely makes total sense to go ahead and do that if you can. But back to the charts right here, funding rates still not showing us something absolutely huge in my opinion, and so maybe just more of a waiting game. This is the thing, as I was warning you guys about this a few days ago when I was talking about the buy the fucking dip search term, is that a lot of people are still very bullish because they want to buy Bitcoin's dip right now, but of course the market is bleeding out, right? If we take another look at Bitcoin dominance, we can see this across the altcoin market as well, which is just getting hit even harder again, as predicted on this YouTube channel. Look at this on the 1 hour time frame. Bitcoin rocketing up in terms of dominance. It's not actually a big move, right? Bitcoin hasn't actually moved up by too much right here, only by about 4% in about, you know, 3-4 days. However, you know, it is still, you know, billions and billions and billions of dollars that are, you know, kind of washing away with moves like this. And I think that's a really, really big deal, right? I think that, you know, even though we're seeing something that looks relatively small, it's still a very big deal for the Bitcoin market right here. And so it must be given, you know, a good amount of attention, you know, at a time like this in this market. And that is a very, very big point that I would like to make for the Bitcoin dominance chart right here. If we look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, guys, remember about where I was telling you I bought Ethereum. VIPs are going to remember that I sold my Ethereum right at this high. I did miss, I only sold half of it, to be fair. I did miss the rest of this rally for the half of the position that I sold, but Ethereum is right back down to my exit. I think that this is where it starts looking really bullish again. Look, there's a lot of blood in the streets. A lot of people are very scared. Ethereum is at a critical support level of about $3,000 right now. Cardano, for example, if we look at these coins against Bitcoin, it's just getting pummeled right now. I mean, they're dropping, they're losing a lot of the gains that they've made. They're losing them fairly quickly. You know, you look at Tron against Bitcoin. I mean, everything against Bitcoin is losing value today. Let's look at XRP, for example, against the dollar. I always love to make fun out of the XRP army. It's now down to 72 cents. I know that you can't see the price, but it's at 72 cents. You know, if you look at XRP against Bitcoin, you're just going to consistently see that these coins are losing value against Bitcoin right here. Take a look at this on this very short-term chart. You can see quite clearly, you know, XRP falling off a cliff against Bitcoin right here, again indicating that these coins are performing badly against Bitcoin. So you know, I like to buy when the market is low. I prefer to make money in the markets instead of jack myself off to price predictions when I buy at the top. Sorry, it's just something I like to do. And so that is what I'm looking at in this market right now. And that's why I'm saying that, you know, I think Ethereum is starting to look really, really nice right now. If we just kind of trace back the exact price level that Ethereum is at right now, it's a pretty nice level on this chart at the moment. You know, this has been historically quite an important level, and so I would like to expect that Ethereum can, you know, get some sort of bounce up from this area as well. Just at the moment as we're in this market. Guys, just give me a second as I fix one of these little technical issues that I'm facing right now, because my computer is lagging a little bit and it is making it difficult for me to make this video. So just bear with me as I try and sort this out. Hopefully it's going to be fine now. Let's take a look at this. Guys, by the way, need you guys to smash up the likes a little bit more. We got 1,200 people here, but only 300 of you have hit up those likes. If you're finding this live stream useful so far, if you found the other videos useful so far, guys, do me a favor, smash up the likes, give this video a little bit of love. It will help me out a ton. Someone's asking for the promo code for Bybit. You don't need one. Just follow my link in the description and sign up using that link, and you will get your $4,100 when you make your first Bitcoin deposit, obviously depending on the size. So there you go, Ethereum falling quite hard. I like to buy things when they're low, and they are fairly low right now. So I'm not saying that they can't drop lower. Definitely don't get me wrong there. They can drop lower, and they look like they might. However, that doesn't mean that these are bad bad levels to buy. It makes sense to buy when the market is down, because even though it might drop even lower, if you expect it to overall rise higher, you're going to average a better entry level. Put it this way, guys, I need to make a big point to you guys clear very, very much right now, is that in these markets, if you're able to, someone's just spamming the comments and you're about to get blocked, get the fuck off the channel if you're going to show this level of disrespect to everyone else here. Seriously, like, have something better to do with your time. Absolutely zero tolerance. Lost my train of thought. I'm really sorry. What was I saying? Yeah. The point I wanted to make is that if you buy Bitcoin at levels like here, and then Bitcoin falls down to levels like here, you're still not losing if you expect Bitcoin to rise up to the previous all-time high. Because if Bitcoin rises up to the all-time high from here, you're going to make about 67% profit. If you put in $100 here, it would be worth about $167 right here. Whereas if you bought Bitcoin down here at about 33,000, you would double your money. And so $100 turns into about 208. It's still a big gain, and it is obviously a much nicer gain. However, if you buy them at both levels, you're still going to average a pretty good entry level. In this case, if you buy at 40K and you buy at 33K, you're going to average an 83% profit if Bitcoin rises back up to that previous all-time high. $100 turns into $83. Now, here's the kicker. Here's what makes it a good idea, in my opinion, to be buying at these levels, and like I said, why I would be buying at these levels if I could. It's because, and guys, please just let me know if there's any lag. I think one person said that there is a bit of lag. Let me just turn off my camera because it's not working very well. We definitely could drop down to, the 33K level, but the thing is, we don't know if we will. And what we do know, like I said, is that this, in my opinion, what I know is that this should be a good area to buy Bitcoin, even if we dip lower, primarily because I don't know if Bitcoin is going to drop lower than this, which means that if I have a buy order at, say, $30,300, but Bitcoin bottoms out at $32,000, it drops all the way down here. It does not fill my second entry level, and I didn't even buy up here, and then Bitcoin rockets up. I'm going to miss the whole fucking thing. That is a really important thing to keep in mind. A lot of people who aren't actually traders and who don't actually know how this game works will learn these things the hard way by missing good opportunities. This is primarily the reason that I enforce, as soon as you join VIP, one of the first things that you need to do is make sure that you can be as much of a strong decision maker as possible. And this gets a lot easier when you watch someone else doing it. Like if you watch someone else like that you admire doing it, and in this case, for a lot of people, that's been me. interesting. And you watch someone else doing that in real time. You know, while we're facing the same battlefield together, we're facing the same enemy together, and you're watching me navigate it right in front of you, even when I don't know what's going to happen. That can give a lot of people a lot of confidence in how to navigate the markets themselves. And that's one of the biggest reasons that we see people completely turning around their trading after they join 4Fly's VIP. So guys, do take advantage of this if you can. And of course, also, if you're completely new to the market and you don't really know what's going on, as soon as you join, most people who join are going to be getting completely free access into our 4Fly's Academy courses, where I'm going to teach you everything I know about trading from A to Z inside of those courses for free. So definitely ask about that as well when you follow these steps. This will take you less than 5 minutes. It is very, very straightforward. Just the first link down below, my name at the bottom of any post, click my name and then click on send message to ask me how to join 4Fly's VIP. You can pause the video here and go ahead and do that. My assistants are online and we will enroll you during this very live stream. So that's one of the key points I wanted to make about Bitcoin right now, is that, you know, buying it here or buying it down here, you know, you don't want to be getting too greedy over, you know, the last few cents. The fact of the matter is Bitcoin is down by 40% from its previous all-time high. And, you know, previously in its bull markets, this was a big deal. You know, if we measure, you know, the drops that Bitcoin had in its rallies before, you know, it's pretty clear that Bitcoin was dropping by like 40% many times before, and it actually, it was fine, right? Take a look at this. This is a 40% drop right here. This drop right here, not 40%, but still a pretty nice drop. This was about a 35% drop. This drop right here, again, not quite 40, but it was a 30% drop. But this drop right here, this was roughly a 40% drop. I don't know why I'm drawing it with these lines, because it's hard to see. Let me just do a normal tool to measure percentage moves. Let's keep it on the logarithmic chart, and let me just measure this for you from high to low. Bam, look at that. That is a 40% correction right there. And then the very next major all-time high that Bitcoin set and correction, bam, that was 33%. This next one, this was 33%. It's always between 30 and 40%, ladies and gents. And right now we are at just about 30%. I'm sorry, 40%. This one was 39%. The very next one after this, look at this. It's just so consistent, guys. You can't ignore it. This one was 39%. It's scary. It's scary. It's actually quite obvious. When you look at this stuff in hindsight, it's quite obvious. This one was 30%, 29%. So, you know, we're in a similar situation right now. We did overshoot it by a little bit, to be quite honest. But still pretty good situation, in my opinion. I mean, you know, if we measure it from all-time high to current price, we're down by about 40.5%. If we measure it from all-time high to the absolute low, we fell by about 42%. Again, you know, when you consider it in front of this rally, this was a ridiculously strong rally, and I was YWP rise up. Shout out to 𝗬𝗎𝗓𝗓 in the comments. One of my best friends, I'm pinning that comment right there. One of my best friends who actually yeah, changed my life when I was 13 years old. Guys, a lot of you guys don't know about this and don't know this about me, but I started like my entrepreneur journey when I was 13 years old, and it was thanks to this guy. So go subscribe to him. He doesn't even make videos, but yeah, he's a legend. Anyway, back to the topic of the video here. Yeah, like I was saying, you know, we're already down by about 40%, and so I think that makes it pretty appealing, even though there is no support on this chart, right? I mean, if we take a look at Lux Algo, for example, we're still seeing just consistently bearish signs across the board. This indicator doesn't really show bottoms, though. It might give you take profit ideas, but not a whole lot more than that. So it's great for confirming a trend, which is actually quite useful anyway. Let's see what it's saying on the 1 hour time frame. Not the best time frame for this indicator in my opinion, but I'm curious. Yeah, it's still bearish. My god, even after this bounce, it is still bearish. So yeah, it's not looking particularly amazing. If you do want to get this indicator, you already know the deal. It is linked in the description down below. But that is what I'm seeing right there. Let me just give my notes a quick check, and please do drop your questions here if you have them. Of course, make sure to tag me in your questions so that I can see it and answer it. Let's see what other points we have here that I haven't covered yet, just from my notes. Yeah, already covered all of this. I suppose one thing that I want to bring to your attention is what Bitcoin was doing right here in this move down. You know, Bitcoin had a little bit of a downtrend line that you could draw perhaps a little bit like this. And it's not the best way to draw it, to be honest. Hang on, let me just double check I'm doing this correctly. So yeah, it's not easy to demonstrate this exact pattern. But really the overall point here is that Bitcoin formed a pattern that looks something a little bit like this, right? Where we're just kind of, it's not even a pattern, just a resistance line, where, you know, it was kind of holding Bitcoin down. And the point is not necessarily the resistance line itself, because it's, you know, it doesn't really match up. You can't get it to line up with all of the points here. If I wanted to really make my point, I could draw it, you know, something a little bit like this. It's just showing you that this general kind of parallel channel was an area, was a channel of resistance for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin ended up, you know, dropping down quite quickly, finding resistance here and, you know, just kind of fucking around in this range. And then as soon as it got a breakout, that's when things got really explosive. And the point is that Bitcoin could be doing that again right now. I'm not saying we are, but if we do end up doing something like this, it would actually make quite a bit of sense in hindsight. You know, if you take a look at how this looks in this market right now, it could very well be the case that, you know, perhaps Bitcoin rallies up to say $43,000, maybe even it rallies up a lot more, up to like, you know, 45, 46,000, gets a little bit of a drop, fucks around in this range a little bit, and bam, blasts off just like last time. The reason that I'm putting this on your radar is that this has a lot of similarities with what Bitcoin did last time. Last time, Bitcoin had an equally abysmal, not an equally abysmal drop, but it had an also very scary big drop in this market. But, you know, Bitcoin, after some consolidation and fake outs, was able to recover it and then rally very nicely. And I've already been drawing comparisons from this range to this range, and that's why I want you guys to keep an eye on it right now. I'm not saying that Bitcoin's going to spend so much time down here, because the fact of the matter is that the previous rally just wasn't as strong as the rally that we had before for Bitcoin, and so that would call for generally a weaker, less intense correction. That's number one. And number two, the sell-off hasn't been as intense, right? Previously, the sell-off was bigger and faster, but right now that is not the case, guys. Take a look at this. If we measure this from high to the first major low, it took about 34 days to drop by minus 53%. And in our case, it's taken 62 days to drop by minus 42%. So we're talking about roughly half the time frame, and it hasn't even dropped as much as it did last time. So this sell-off is unequivocally less intense than last time, and for that reason I would expect a subsequent time-based correction to also be less intense. So look, I'm not losing the optimism in the market. That's the thing. I'm staying realistic. I'm acknowledging where resistance is and all the other stuff, but I'm not losing my realistic view of this market, and that is exactly what I will continue to keep right here as we go along with you guys showing all your love. Thank you all for smashing up those likes and subscribing to this channel if you've done so already. Really do appreciate all that. Guys, if you like this content and you want to see more of it, you're going to be able to do that by subscribing. So definitely go ahead and smash up that like button, that subscribe button. Let's see what other questions we got here in the comments. I'm going to take a couple last questions and then I'm heading off because I do have a time limit for this live stream, unfortunately. Got my protein shake. What do I think about the 4-hour time frame? This is a pretty bullish candle on the 4-hour time frame because it's got a big wick and it formed a bullish hammer. Unfortunately, this new candle that we're in, which is only 5 minutes old into a 4-hour candle, so you know it's way too early to draw a conclusion, but this new candle we're in isn't following that strength up, so that's not nice. But this candle in itself, this 4-hour candle, very bullish in my opinion, definitely. Why do I use the logarithmic scale? Just to visualize things easier. That's it. I know log scale is generally the best way to do analysis, but I switch between the two, and yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't look at the MACD indicator, so I can't comment on that, and I also don't know what the secret crypto coin is, secret network, so I can't. It's literally called secret network, but I don't know what that is, and I can't comment on that as a result. If you're just tuning in now, do me a favor and rewind the live stream. I don't want to repeat the things I've already said for the sake of the people who were already here at the very beginning. What's my thought on VPAD? It didn't really move on Bitcoin, and the other coins are dropping. Yeah, it's very impressive. VPAD is moving extremely impressively. I'm very happy with it. It has dumped down a little bit now, even below a critical level, and that's not good. However, I'm fully expecting this thing to blast off again. Like I said, I mean, it gets listed on Bybit tomorrow, so that's a pretty big deal in my opinion. So I'm very optimistic about VPAD. yeah, same for 𝗪𝗓. 𝗪𝗓 hasn't performed amazingly since it launched. Although, to be fair, it did launch at... Oh, I can't even show you this chart. It did launch at about 4 cents, and it's now trading at about 75 cents, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just refresh the chart. Yeah, about 75 cents right here. So, yeah, it's doing well in that way, but if you look at the whole chart, it has had a little bit of a turbulent beginning. It's just... The thing is that like most coins are getting crushed in the market, and this coin has absolutely no history. So it literally, it's just, this coin's facing a big stretch of bad luck right now. But bottom line, guys, you know, when you're looking at coins like this, you got to consider where their competitors are. This coin has competitors that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and 𝗪𝗓 is worth $30 million with, in my opinion, the best possible marketing arm. That's before we even talk about the tech and the product, which isn't out yet, but, you know, I'm personally invested in it because I think it's going to be a strong product, which I would personally use myself. And the tech isn't even out yet, and I think that it's already got, you know, one of the best marketing teams you could possibly have in crypto. And we already know that a lot of the speculative interest you find in the crypto markets is going to come from marketing. So, oh, it listed on Bybit today. Someone's saying VPAD listed today. There we go. Yeah, it did. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. It listed at $1.50 and it's up to $1.85. That's funny. So there's a little bit of a premium on Bybit. Is that the case? It's trading at $1.82 on Bybit. And on Phemex, it's trading at $1.81. No, very small premium. About, you know, I don't know what that is, 0.5%. Where am I from? Yes, I'm from the UK. British accent. Could this have been a short squeeze or liquidity grab? Yes, absolutely. It definitely could have been. Definitely. Let's actually take a quick look at EXO charts. Let me refresh this. This probably isn't going to make sense to a lot of people. It probably isn't going to make sense to a lot of people, but I still want to look at it because I think it is quite useful. And when did this dump happen? Oh, it's been a whole 2-3 hours since the dump. Damn, okay. Yeah, quite a few liquidations at 40,300. The point of control, the most volume on this candle happened just at 40k on the dot. So this is a visualization of where the volume in the candle was traded. So you can see like the red line being the point of control and every other spike also representing where big volume was exchanged, and the red circles here representing where a lot of liquidations happened. So this is quite a useful chart to add another dimension to your analysis. Not necessary at all, but definitely cool, and I like to have the extra edge where possible. Look at this on the 4-hour time frame. A lot of liquidations on this move. A lot of liquidations. So yeah, to answer your question, 100%. This definitely could have been a liquidity grab. See what other final questions I have here before I do get going. I cannot stay for longer, unfortunately. When I say, for example, we're consistent on the 40% drop limit, can we trust to hold in the face of major scandals on a macro global financial scale? Yes, we can, absolutely. Someone's asking, I'm talking about Bitcoin generally only dumping by about 40%. Can we still trust that that's going to be the case, even if there is a big, what did you say, major scandal on the macro global financial side? Absolutely, yes, because, you know, that news generally is secondary to the technicals in my experience. The only exceptions are black swan events like the original coronavirus market crash, which really was very, very big. Why are there so many liquidations when you can use a stop loss? Steve, I've been wondering the same thing, mate. It's really just that people are so fucking stupid. That's the only thing it comes down to. I'm sorry, but if you're getting liquidated, you're a bloody idiot. You know, aside from the fact that you could literally use lower leverage and have a stop loss at your liquidation point, because a lot of people don't know this, but when you got liquidated, you're paying a big fee. You know, if you have 10x leverage, your liquidation price is going to be about 10% away. Actually, realistically, it's going to be like 9.5% away, and that final 0.5% is the fee that you're paying. So you are getting fucking raped. If you've got a $10,000 position or a $100,000 or a $1 million or a $10 million position and you get liquidated on it, you're paying a 0.5% fee on it. It is ridiculous. I'm just curious to know the math right here. Let's say it's $1 million position. I know that this isn't normal for most people, but I'm just curious with the big numbers. You are paying a fee of $5,000. $5,000. If you got a 100K position, right, you're paying a fee of $500 just to have the position closed early, where you could instead be paying a fee of, say, 100. Like, it's so unbelievably stupid that people just get liquidated instead of using a stop loss. But here we are. We're in a retail market with a lot of idiots. Leverage ruins the market. What are my thoughts? Well, I'm only a leverage trader, so the difference is I do it safely. So, I mean, I think you're right. It doesn't necessarily ruin the market, but it makes things happen in very extreme ways, which can definitely be uncomfortable. Do I buy into the notion that a break below the September low for Bitcoin of 39.6 marks the end of this bull cycle? Definitely not. Definitely not. If you were going along that line of thought, then then you would be thinking that this crash itself ended the bull cycle, but it didn't. It was just a correction, and I think that's what we're in right now as well. I still don't think that this bull market is over, and Bitcoin can drop very, very much before that happens. What I'm looking for is more people to start asking me questions like that, and more importantly, more people to hate me when I say that Bitcoin can start rising up, and that's when I'm going to start to get an idea that people are very bitter, and that's where the market might start rising back up again. But we're not there yet. All right, guys, I got like 2-3 more minutes. If you got any final questions, please drop them in the comments right now. Otherwise, I will have to get going. Throw up a final thumbs up on this video, the likes, if you are enjoying this live stream so far. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. My webcam is still frozen, which is very annoying. No idea why this issue has crept back in, but please answer, how was your day when you finally could buy yourself your loved Ferrari? How was it reaching that goal? I felt pretty numb, to be honest. That's how it felt on most major achievement days. Even when I bought my mom a house, I felt pretty numb. I didn't feel as happy as I thought I would, to be honest. Yeah, it's weird. But the days after that were pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, the joy usually sets in for me after I actually buy the big thing. What about a small correction back to 40k? Entirely possible. Entirely possible. If you haven't already watched the beginning of the live stream, then you must go back and rewind that. Alright, I think we've run out of strong questions, so I am going to call it a stream there. If you have enjoyed this one, you know exactly what to do. If you want some free cash, you got $4,100 waiting for you by clicking on the link in the description to sign up to Bybit and making your first ever Bitcoin deposit. And if you want to jump into 𝗓𝗡𝗧𝗧 VIP and watch me trading in real time, bam, on the screen right here, where you can follow all those steps to jump inside of 𝗓𝗡𝗧𝗧 VIP. All right, have a great day. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, you know exactly what to do, and I'll see you all in the very next video. Bye-bye.